Hello everyone, this is Alka193. Welcome back to Pokémon Vortex. It's episode 16 today, and at the start of this episode, as with most episodes, we are catching the Pokémon that was voted for in the straw polls, which is Shellos East Sea. Now that we're here anyway at the straw poll, I do want to mention something. I won't be putting out a straw poll for the next episode for what Pokemon I should catch then for multiple reasons. One, for the past few episodes, I've not really felt like putting up a straw poll and going for that Pokemon. Even though I am excited to use new ones, I'll keep doing that. But I'm not really feeling the making a straw poll each time. And also, very few people voted on this one. I only voted for Shellos East Sea, so there's one or two other people that voted max. It's the least amount for the past few episodes, but even then, it's generally been 3-4 people max that voted, which is a very low amount. It's afterwards when I ask on Vortex Discord, like an hour before I start to record, that a good amount of people more actually put their votes, even though I ask at the end of the episode, or even ask multiple times during the episode. So, for those two reasons, I'm gonna not put up any straw polls for the next few episodes, although I will still be using some new Pokemon after after this episode, so starting the next one, because we have just two more Elite Four and champions to go region-wise. So let's do that. But first, Shellos East Sea, which, according to this, can be found on grass maps in the water during the night. So that's exactly where we will go. And we don't spawn in the water. Dang it. Map preference night. Let's do that. Much better in the water. Now let's set a respawn point in the water, just in case something happens, or we want to catch a Pokemon that isn't Shellos. Alright, this is night, grass maps in the water. We should be able to find both Shellos East and West Sea here, but it's East Sea that I really like. I also really like Shiny Oshawott. Except I accidentally logged in on my other account. What you didn't see, what I cut out right when I jumped to the grass map, was that my session expired, because it took me a while I was on my team screen before I started recording, and then it had this account automatically logged in, and I didn't notice that. I don't have a shiny Oshawott yet, so I'm still going to catch a shiny Oshawott, but this is on the other account, so... Oh, that doesn't really help. Let's see, dual jump, does that do more? 15 as well. Let's just do that. Okay, that's interesting. Here's gameplay on my Alka193 account. Huh. Go Shadow Axew, then Dark Axew, Scratch, and then Pokeball. Got it. I'm gonna log out and I'm gonna see you on my other account. And we're back! And we immediately have a Shellos East Sea. That was fast. I'm just thinking, I should have realized that the other account was my main account because I was using the silver sprite, like this one, instead of this one that I'm using right now on Shadow Ghoul. But I didn't because I'm so used to seeing the silver sprite. Anyway, Shellos East Sea, here we go. Oshawott, go fight it. Let's see, Fury Cutter, 15, pretty good. Rock Smash, 12, so we use Fury Cutter 2 more times, and we should be good to catch this Shellos East Sea. We got it! Yay! So Shellos East Sea, among with a couple of other Pokemon that I caught in the past few episodes, will be on a team in probably the next episode. So look forward to that. Now, while I get my other Pokemon back, my Gengar, completely different topic. How many calls have you guys had in recent times, and these can be in recent years, from Microsoft tech support? Someone with, for me, generally an Indian accent, although earlier this week, 2 times there was a call with someone that wasn't an Indian accent, it was a different accent, and they have detected a virus on your computer, and fraud calls, they want to get into your computer and get your data, and obviously, like, hang up and stuff, and don't give them any of your data, it's definitely a fraud and fake. I've had 4 calls for that in the past 5 days, 2 of them today. It's ridiculous. It's, wow, I want to see the fun in it, so in a way entertained that they keep trying, in a way I'm afraid. But none of the times have they called when my brother was home, and quite a while ago I promised my brother that when we would get a call from Microsoft tech support and he's home, I go get him, my brother, because he knows more about computer stuff, and I'm gonna have him go on the phone with whoever's on the other end, whether it's someone with an Indian accent or an African accent or whoever, because my younger brother, does a really good Indian accent, and then it's gonna be Bajar, also from Microsoft Tech Support, and he's gonna see how he can mess with that person. Unfortunately, I won't be able to legally and easily record that conversation. It would be fun. So that's unfortunate because I wouldn't mind listening to it myself, but I'll just have my brother have some fun. Weird though. I wonder if I'll get a third call today, like during the recording. That'd be weird. I will go pick it up though. Anyway, Elite Four time. Sean Tull, the first of the Elite Four in Unova, or Ishu as it's called in Japanese, the only region with a different name in English and Japanese. Gengar, go! Shadowball! Oops. That didn't work. 'Cause I click buttons too fast. 'Cause I forgot that doesn't work with the 80 base power thing with stab and super effective yet. Rock Wrecker! Boom! Yeah, we got the lead again. Bomber Snow. Woodhammer. Golurk. Woodhammer. Bayonet. Pidgeot? Whoops. Done that. And Earthquake. No. Pidgeot, finish it off. There we go. Chantal defeated. Also, something that was started in the 5th generation in Unova was the fact that you could choose the order in which you'd fight all the Elite Four members. Which I found an interesting idea. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of it, to be honest. I didn't mind the set order, because that was the only way you'd be able to have the difficulty increase, like the slight level increase in each one. Now, because you can choose the order, they have to be pretty much be the same level. So that doesn't really increase the difficulty until you get to the champion, which will be multiple levels higher than the Elite Four members. Which, with the way it currently is, that's I suppose a good thing. But I feel I prefer the set order, and one of the reasons for that is the fact that you can increase the levels, therefore increase difficulty. Let's see what you can do. That, and then let's have Blastoise take this one. Or a Sphere should be able to do it. Yeah, just about. No, I'll have Blastoise finish things off. I'll have Gardevoir now because Psychic and Fairy and stuff that's good against the fighting types. He really only has one that isn't pure fighting. No, it's not even a Breloom that's part grass, something like that. So, type coverage wise, he may have some ideas. I haven't really looked closely at their moves. But defensively, his type coverage isn't exactly great. No, not Pidgeot, even though that'd be great too. Gardevoir here. Future Sight on the Conkeler, and it's out. Next up in Unova, we have Grimsley, who recently made an appearance in Sun and Moon. Haven't actually gotten to battle him yet, if you can at all. If you can, don't tell me how or where. I do have a very strong suspicion, because I have seen a sprite, like the thumbnail of someone battling Grimsley in like a YouTube video. I've just seen the thumbnail. So I have a very strong feeling where you can fight him. I recently found 2 more people that you can fight in the champion title defense, so there's probably some more to discover where I feel Grimsley probably is. Alright, dark types. Let's just Moonblast and Moonblast, and this thing gets hit even harder by the Moonblast. Moon to the face. I'm just gonna continue. Moon to the face. Unfortunately, doesn't survive it. I was hoping Absol would be able to be beaten by Gardevoir's on them, maybe Bisharp with something else, because it isn't actually weak to Moonblast due to its steel typing. Absol. Let's see, I also have Bisharp, so Pidgeot. U-turn. Superpower. Nice move from Absol, okay. And then just Blastoise or Sphere? That's super effective. Yeah, nice. There we go. And I keep forgetting it's a Dark Steel. I keep thinking it's a Fighting Steel, but it's a Dark Steel. Not sure why I think it's a Fighting Steel. I often have that, and then, oh yeah, it's a Dark thing. I don't really have that with Poniard. At Poniard, I think Dark Steel more. It's Steel that's the most obvious. For some reason, I keep thinking Fighting Steel for Bisharp. I know it isn't, but that's just what happens in my mind. Alright. 4 pure Psychics, a Psychic Flying, and a Psychic Steel. Most of these Pokemon are actually on her team in Black and White. I know it's Musharna, Reuniclus, Gothitelle, I think Metagross in her original team, and then she adds Sigalith in the rematch, and then Grumpig. Something I wasn't a big fan of in Unova is that the Elite Four members only had 4 Pokemon. I didn't like that. I feel that Elite Four members should have 5 Pokemon and then the champion 6. After I looked up this fact to make sure that I was indeed correct after having beaten the 5th gen games, I realized that none of the gym leaders have more than 3 Pokemon. I didn't notice it during gameplay, so that isn't that bad. But I'm not the biggest fan of that either. Especially at the start, it's understandable that they don't have more than 3. Like maybe only Gym 7 or 8 would have 4 Pokemon. So 3 for gym leaders, I can see that happening as a max. Although, yeah, one of the gyms like 7 or 8 or both having 4 Pokemon, I do feel that works. That should be done so that you don't suddenly go to 5 Pokemon from 3 in the Elite Four. And then I feel the champion should just have 6. It should be a big challenge, and the opponent should just have 6 Pokemon, because otherwise it's not the biggest challenge they could give. Naturally, the biggest challenge they could give is just really high base stat Pokemon, level 100, or all of that. High IVs and everything. But what's possible within like regular limits of what is doable yet difficult, I feel that it should be 6 Pokemon for a champion. And the reason I bring this up is because in Sun and Moon, your champion battles, the opponents have 5 Pokemon. And I don't know why. There's even 5 Pokemon for the Elite Fours, and the champion doesn't have that either. As a challenger, when you come into the champion, at least in a regular game, unless you're playing some kind of big challenge, you would, under normal conditions, have 6 Pokemon with you, because why not? And if you only have 3 Pokemon that you really train to level up, then take 3 more as Death Fodder, in case you want to use a Revive or a Max Potion or anything like that. That's one of the few things I dislike about Pokemon Sun and Moon, is that the champion battles don't have 6 Pokemon for the opponent. That's something I dislike. Meanwhile, while I was talking, we have reached a Unova champion, Iris. It's not Alder, it's Iris. These are the black and white 2 gyms with Charon and Roxy here. They weren't in black and white one. Well, Charon was, but not as a gym leader. 7 gym for him, so no Bryce and Yumalau here. Iris moved on from gym leader to becoming the champion. Let's go fight her dragons. At least she has like a Rock Steel, Rock Flying, and a Lapras that isn't really a dragon. So her variety in her dragons is pretty good. Then again, Lance only had 3 actual dragon types as well. His looked a bit more like dragons, but nah, we can make that work. There weren't exactly a lot of options for dragons for Lance. Anyway, it was still kind of Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, and then Kingdra. I believe that was it, dragon type wise. So it wasn't exactly easy. It wasn't easy for Morty either, for ghost types. You had your Ghastly, Hunter, Gengar for first gen, and then second gen decided to add 1 ghost type, which is Mischievous. So thinking back about it, I'm quite surprised only 1 ghost type was added. that only one or two of each type of certain types were added in Gen 6 is understandable because there weren't exactly that many new Pokemon. Is it 68 new Pokemon or 71 after the event Pokemon? That really wasn't a lot. And I wasn't a big fan of the lack of new Pokemon. I feel that there weren't enough. However, I did really like the fact that you could get so many different Pokemon, like 4, 5, 6 different Pokemon from the same route. So you could have yourself a Bagon or a Psyduck or a Hoppip, or there were so many different ways you could play the game just due to the fact there were so many different Pokemon available. It also made something like a Nuzlocke really interesting, but because it's not like, oh, you can get a Pidgey and a Bunnelby and a Fletchling here, so you know the two routes on. You can really only get a Flabébé or something else or whatever you find on that route because you've already caught all the other Pokemon on the previous route. It made the duplicates clause, as you would call it in Nuzlocke, not apply very much. And Wonderlocks were fun as well, especially obviously after like Oras came out and things like that. But even without, there was still a very big variety of Pokemon that you could get, and that was really interesting. I did really like that. Kalos time. Vikstrom, Drazna, Seabold, Malva. Malva, the only one you sort of see, and Diantha before. I do like that, especially in 5th gen, the gym leaders do something outside the gym. You don't really see that here. I did like that in 5th gen. Vikstrom, Drazna, and Seabold were just there, which happened in the first couple of games as well, so in that sense, it shouldn't be seen as a negative. But also what 5th gen did, especially with the gym leaders, I do like that they maybe aren't seen or at least mentioned, or they do something outside of just being E4. They're not mentioned or seen anywhere else, I believe. Okay, Klefki time. Meanwhile, what I hadn't noticed yet, Mystic Blastoise has reached 100, and the others are quite close. Oh yeah, 4 Pokemon only for the Elite Four here. I forgot that as well. It happens in 6th gen too, but at least Diantha has 6 Pokemon instead of the 5 from Sun and Moon. Let's see, Klefki Crustle, because Earthquake. Yeah, it works. And then I'm just gonna do it again because I can, and then Pidgeot for Scizor because Heat Wave. And then Aegislash Blade. There we go. That's Vikstrom defeated. Next up, Malva. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky member of Team Flare. Anything super weak against water? Nope. So we're just gonna go Hydro Cannon. Had to do that. Crustle, Earthquake. There you go. Gengar won't one-shot, unfortunately one-shot back just due to a slight increase in power. Blasters won't be taken out by Chandelure, so not afraid of that. Crustle on Talonflame though, because Rock Wrecker! 1,485 damage. It feels satisfying hitting Pokemon for such high damage. Durazna up next with her Dragon types Dragulls, which looks like the shiny actually, or very close to it. I believe that's very similar to the shiny coloration. Dragulls Poison Dragon, so not actually weak to Fairy. What it is weak to though is Ice. Boom. Unfortunately, Abomasnow is also weak to Poison. But this way, it will level up to level 100, so only Gengar and Gardevoir remain for that. And Gardevoir happens to be Fairy, which is good against Dragon. So Gardevoir will finish off these battles. So then we have 2 more battles in which Gengar can go up to level 100, because that is the goal for this episode as well, to get them all to level 100. Moonforce! There we go. That should mean Gardevoir and Abomasnow are now at level 100. Gengar's the only one that remains. We're fighting Seabold. Gengar can definitely hit the Gyarados. What do we do? Claw Witcher. Let's use Abomasnow for a nice Wood Hammer to the face. Starmie, let's just use Abomasnow as well, because Starmie can hit Gengar for super effective damage. Stab super effective damage with a Psychic. So Wood Hammer onto Starmie. Gengar comes in because it doesn't have Thunderbolt. I had in my head it had Thunderbolt, but that's Gardevoir. So that is unfortunate. So Sludge Bomb 2 times works out. Let's see what Gengar can do against Barbaracle. Should be good enough because it does have Energy Ball for a one-shot there. So that's nice. Gengar with 1,000 experience most likely isn't in level 100 yet because this is just over 2 levels of experience. So it's likely level 99. But we'll make that 100 against Kalos champion Diantha. I like her team. I like that her Gardevoir is, well, just I like that she has Gardevoir. I feel it fits her well. The fact that it is a Mega Gardevoir works with her too. Hawlucha, I really like that she had a Hawlucha just because I really liked Hawlucha, especially when I started playing through the game. Thinking about it now, I don't think it fits her too well. Although Hawlucha likes some action, maybe she's an actress, Diantha, and she might be in some action scenes. Gourgeist, I sort of like him for her. Not really feeling it, but I sort of like Auroras. I feel really works for her. Tyrantrum, not as much. But what I don't like about these two Pokemon, not that they're fossil Pokemon or that they're connected sort of as the two fossil Pokemon of 6th Gen, their pre-evolutions were used by a gym leader already. Like that you fight a Goodra and that someone early in their game might have had a Sliggoo, like some random trainer. That's possible. A random trainer might have had a Ralts too, or a Pumpkaboo. However, a gym leader is such a special character that I don't feel that their Pokemon should match with any of the Pokemon from other gym leaders or champions. Like if a champion uses a Gourgeist or someone else uses a Pumpkaboo or regular trainer, that's fine. And if a gym leader uses an Onix and later on in the game someone uses an Onix or Steelix, that's fine as long as that other person is a regular trainer and not a gym leader or Elite Four member or champion or anything like that. Enough talking about that. It is time to fight. Let's see what Hawlucha has for moves. It actually is pretty good against ghost types now because I remember that it barely had anything against a ghost poison type. It had like a fighting move, it had a bug move, another fighting move, and then yeah, it couldn't do much. So in my Nuzlocke on X, where so many Pokemon died, I was happy that my Haunter could go up against a Hawlucha. Pidgeot, let's start with you and Hurricane, one-shotting the Hawlucha. We should be able to one-shot everything if we have a super effective hit, unless we need the Ghost from Gengar. But that's only if we need it. It's Tyrantrum. Let's see if we can use one Pokemon per one of hers. Let's plan this out. Goodra can be hit by Abomasnow or Gardevoir. Gourgeist can be hit by Gengar, but that's only if Shadow Ball, so they'll survive with 4 HP. And Sludge Bomb doesn't hit super effectively because of its Ghost type. So Gengar would go up against Gardevoir. So Gengar on Gardevoir, Gardevoir on Goodra, Gardevoir or Abomasnow. So then we have Blastoise, Crustle that haven't been used yet. Blastoise can go Auroras, but Tyrantrum can be... No, Tyrantrum broke Dragon, so if Abomasnow is Tyrantrum, Crussle's Auroras. What do we say for Gourgeist? What do we say for Gourgeist? Who's left? Blastoise? No. Yeah. No, that doesn't work. Who can we hit for Gourgeist? Because we already used Pidgeot. Who do we hit with that? I don't think we can do it on a one shot on Gourgeist. Okay, let's just go with this. We can still probably take out Gourgeist. Crustle here. Rockwrecker. And at least Blastoise. Let's see what Blastoise can do. Energy Ball is a one shot, the others are not. Didn't do that, so we're fine on that. Goodra, that'll be our Gardevoir. Moonforce! And then finishing it off is our Mega Gengar, who with this attack will level up to level 100 and finish off our level 100 team. Sludge Bomb! There we go. Diantha has been beaten. We've beaten all Elite Four members and the champions. Let's take a look at my profile. That does look pretty good. We aren't done yet, though. We haven't unlocked legendary Pokemon yet because we still have the Battle Frontier for both Hoenn and Sinnoh and the Kalos Battle Maison. I'm not going to do that in the next episode. I'm probably going to do 1, 2, maybe even 3 episodes where we train up some other Pokemon, do some other things, catch a new Pokemon. If you have some suggestions as to what I should be doing in the coming episodes, what you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments, and I might just do that. And then in a couple of days' time, or in a week or so, I will see you back, and we'll go do some more fancy stuff here on Pokemon Vortex. Goodbye.